Okay, so I promised that I would make this video at some point. Oh my gosh. Not that I owe anyone else anything, but I just thought since I have a little cute community on here that I have built from posting every single day, I would tell everyone what's going on. I didn't know I was gonna have my phone, but of course I'm not at home. This is a freaking mental health institution that I'm probably getting kicked out of tomorrow. And what happened was I was doing really badly and I was having a lot of panic attacks and it was really bad. And as you know, my fan base that I have built on here, I think people love me for being like really authentic and just being like really real and how I am. And I do kind of have, the kind of creative, tortured personality archetype going on. And yeah, I don't know. I was having some pretty severe panic attacks and just a lot of fear. And I'm one of those people. I've kind of gone like in and out of like being sober and then not being sober again. And I don't know, there was just like a lot of stressors last month or like the month before. Yeah, there was just a lot going on, like life wise. And, sometimes I do okay and sometimes I don't. And like that's kind of just been, I think, a pattern for a really long time. I've been in a lot of different institutions, which I think is why, since I've been posting so authentically, I've been finding my audience, and I feel like a lot of my audience is very neurodivergent, and that's why they enjoy my art so much. And again, I'm really, really grateful to be finding my audience, and not that I owe anyone anything or any explanation. I didn't know if I was gonna like have my phone or whatever when I was in here, and it turns out I have it way more than I thought I would. But yeah, I don't know. Uh, it is good for people to like be sober. Sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. And I know that's kind of bad, and I know I should be like on here saying like, oh, like everyone should like do that forever. Unfortunately, I don't know if this is. It's probably not going to be forever, to be honest. I don't know. It was something I did for like 15 months last year. I guess I'm glad I did it, but I also got really far away from my authentic self. I did like an esthetician program in Utah, and I'm like not from there. And Utah can be kind of hard as an outsider, but it's not like anyone else's fault. I think I just like I really started putting on a front last year on like social media and stuff. Before I was even like promoting my music, it was I was doing like my esthetician stuff, and I really wanted to prove to like the world and like former like friends I'd fallen out with and like exes that I was like okay now. And I wasn't. It was just like this performance I was putting on. It just made me feel like shit. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I talked a little bit about it. Like, I don't know. Like, my sister's wedding was like 6 weeks ago or something. And right before, like, this guy I knew in California, like, randomly hit me up. Um, who I'd like known. I'd been like acquainted with him, but I didn't like know him like that. Um, anyway, yeah, and I talk a lot about like fear of like commitment and like true intimacy in my music. That's a big theme, I guess. And yeah, I talked about it a little bit. How I think I ended up just kind of sending some messages to self sabotage because he's a person who's like been 100% sober for a really long time. And I think it's really cool to see that in other people. But there's also a part of me that, I can be like a giant tornado at times. I've been a giant tornado many times in my life, written about that in my music. But I wanted you guys to know, like, again, not that I like owe anyone anything. I'm okay. And I might be leaving tomorrow because they are trying to. I used to have an eating disorder like a long, long, long time ago, and they're trying to like do some shit for that. Trying to get me to like do all this stuff for it that I didn't come here for. And anyway, I don't want to go too into that. This is like I don't know. I don't owe anyone anything, but I have an audience on here. and I write about this stuff all the time. Um, I I don't know. I needed some like medication or something, or just like a reset away from the world. Um, but I'm okay. And yeah, I don't know. Just take care of yourself like day by day. I'm not here to like tell anyone to like do anything or whatever. I don't know. But yeah. So we'll see if I post this. But peace out.